What's inspired me with this work particular has been being observant of particular online communities, both things that revolve around political or social issues, but also on the other side of the spectrum with communities which are brought together by things like cartoons and TV shows and video games. And it was a matter of being able to see certain correlations with how people approach conversations between that content, and understanding that there would be certain phrases or certain ideas that would circulate between a certain attitude or a certain perspective on the issue that would just constantly be repeated. And I wanted to be able to convey that in a work, and I wanted to be able to make the comparison between such things. The concept which I'd like to communicate through this artwork is about a feeding through, a repetition of information that can circulate between a community, and this circulation has little to no input or output, and little change, depending on the community and depending on how open-minded that community is. Like a running theme or a running subject matter that comes into this work is the blinders, the horse blinders, and they're a common metaphor for narrow-sightedness and not being able to see anything beyond a particular scope. And so that's the concept which holds this piece together, but it's also the matter of the cycle, as seen from the pipe, which moves from the orifice of the hug pillow through into the base of the solid structure and then back out through the casting of the lamp back down onto the pillow. The techniques that I use with my work, not just this one, but multiple ones, there are multiple techniques that I use. It is intentionally contrived and convoluted. It's the way that I use materials is particular techniques that aren't necessarily it's a particular craft that nearly anyone can do. It's something that's self-taught. It's something that's very basic. So paper mache and embroidery and woodwork, very simple woodwork, are things that I employ to give it a form that's fairly amateur, that's fairly intimate, rather than using techniques that require facilities. So they can be done within the home, and the materials can be accessed from stores that are easily accessible to the public, such as hardware stores and office supply stores and textile suppliers. So, and the techniques such as embroidery and papier-mâché, they're things that require a lot of handling, and they're built up bit by bit by hand rather than using a mechanical process.